Hey, you want to take me to bed? I'm talking about it this morning on the morning show. There's your hook. Check it out this morning between 8 and 9 Eastern Time. Take Keith to bed. Coming up today on the show. Nicole Bernard.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You were up and at 'em early this morning.
I was like actually this close to even putting makeup on. That's my big hairy goal, is to actually get makeup on in time for this show. But I didn't, so I'll keep striving for it.
Not even a minute in, and we got some laughter and some humor and some goals already set for the day. Well, that's why, we get this little habit. I send a note first thing in the morning to shoot you a picture, a goofy picture, or a hello, and I'm like, oh, I got a response back quite quick. She's up and at 'em, and I could just, you hearted the old description, and because we're talking today about taking me to bed.
Yeah, I read that as I was pouring my coffee. I was like, I cannot wait to hear what this is about.
Yeah, so Business Athlete Nation, I got a proposal for you guys. Not Nicole, no, just Keith. You can take me to bed, and I'm going to tell you the details coming up later this morning on the show. It's the ultimate proposal, frankly. So if you're bored, you're looking to spice up your routine, I have something to consider. I have something to throw on the table for you to consider. Take me to bed with you.
And you said spicy, so
I did say spicy. I did say spicy, yes. Yeah. Okay. So we're still new in our relationship, so I haven't introduced the husband and wife and partner conversations, all that. That's coming, Nicole. That's all that stuff where, so why do you not do... Anyways, so that's coming up in our show here in the future. Jon Bon Jovi. What's inside his fridge?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you grow up with Jon Bon Jovi? Bon Jovi?
I mean, yes, yeah, for sure. I think it was maybe, like Young Guns and all that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Wait just a second. Bon Jovi, Jon Bon Jovi, Young Guns. No, I'm thinking Slippery When Wet. I'm thinking like the big anthem rocks. I'm not thinking of Jon Bon Jovi, the movie star.
No, I know. No, he had that song in it. It's like Better Off Dead or Alive or whatever. Isn't that
that's right. Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That's what comes to mind. So I feel like he might have been a little bit ahead of me, like a little bit before my time, but
yes. So now we're definitely getting into the demographics of society here right now, because Lauren's like, yes, and then I have you going, yes, with my Bon Jovi stuff. So that is funny. Oh, good. Okay, excellent. I think also we might have Ken joining us this morning in the lab.
Ooh.
From Barbie and Ken fame.
Wait, what? Ryan Gosling's joining us? What?
Oh, maybe Ryan Gosling's, or maybe a Ryan Gosling poor facsimile is joining us today.
Oh, I'll take either.
Yeah, we may have a Ken. I got up this morning as I was preparing the show. I got to admit, I wasn't the most prepared for the show today.
Really? Because your early morning text made it seem like you were.
So did Ken. Ken's like, who thought of all this? I'm like, it kind of came to my head through the pillow. Did you study, when you were growing up, were you studying and just because you put your books under the pillow and that's how you learned?
No, osmosis, I wish. I was like that person that had to continually write out index cards. I'm a very visual learner, so I have to write it a million times.
You were one of those. So you know what? You were one of those that I would have partnered up in school because osmosis just wouldn't work for me. I'd put the book underneath the pillow. I'd sleep on it. And I'm like, Nicole, it's not working.
Yeah, I think it's crap. No offense.
Oh, well, so that's why I'm just doing a morning show then, because I didn't succeed.
Oh, so it does work?
That's where I got all my knowledge from. So no, but I yesterday just got away from me. I had an active day yesterday. And then I try to get we talk about routines, right? So I had an exceptional chat with Tara Holiday yesterday about imposter syndrome. Oh my goodness. It was exceptional. It was deep. It was intelligent. I might have had some misty eyes with emotion. We just had a real honest chat about, the human challenge of imposter syndrome. I shared some of my challenges on the journey, and it wasn't about me. However, I shared my story to make it relatable, because I think that there are probably others that were going through some things that I have gone through. And I shared some things in the show yesterday, Nicole, that I've never shared with anybody before, frankly. So it was an awesome, if we have some time, I'll run a clip, but it was an awesome conversation. Tara Holiday, I think actually, Nicole, as we wrapped it up, we agreed on maybe, our goal here is to create the biggest conversation. She's like, Keith, I would love to have an unfiltered conversation about unconditional worth. Wow. Unconditional, and just this idea of self-worth, right? And, society often paints, I hate to say this, and I'll say it right now at freaking 8:07 a.m. Eastern time, society typically paints women who have challenges with self-worth. Yeah. When in reality, there's as many men that have troubles with self-worth as women.
Wow. See, I wouldn't have thought that.
It's not talked about, right? I know I've my struggles with that, right? So that was a big part of the imposter syndrome discussion yesterday with Tara Holiday. Awesome chat. So as I was getting ready for today's show, I was like, I went to bed last night. I was like, hell with it. I'll figure it out in the morning. So got up this morning, and the old 4:45 alarm clock, and got the old dogs ready. And then I sat down and started kind of planning out the show, and it just kind of came to me. I was like, okay, what's inside Jon Bon Jovi's fridge? We're doing a morning show. Are you familiar with Biocentric lighting?
No.
Good, because I don't think many people are, and I can take some time to teach you and share with others. Okay. So Biocentric lighting will help people like you and I doing this morning routine thing. And I've been talking with so I had a friend in the lab here. Well, not a friend, but a friend of the lab, Kyle Harris, the CEO of Brainlit. Yeah, Kyle was in a number of months ago. And I've been talking to him about Brainlit and Biocentric lighting, and I've been doing my own research into it and looking into it. It's fascinating stuff. The guy who started Brainlit, the inventor of Bluetooth.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. I feel like we've talked about him briefly before. So
you're right. We did. Yes. So we're going to talk with some time. I want to talk about Biocentric.
Now I get it.
There's Ken sitting in the green room there. We're going to bring Ken in a moment. If we have time, I'm going to talk to Ken about how to build muscle at 50, because I know Ken is actually chasing, he looks young, Nicole. Ken is actually closer to 93. It's true. Yeah. He's the ultimate in self-deprecating humor. The guy Ken takes himself so seriously. I just do not know how he exists kind of motioning through life. He walks into meetings with a stern face. He comes into my chat, always just always on point, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, just holding everybody accountable to being so serious. So Ken's going to jump in here. I think Ken's going to co-host the show with us today and hang out and have a conversation. I think that's what's going to happen here. Yeah. Also, are you familiar? So I know you're familiar with VO2 Max. Do you track your VO2 Max when you're running? Do you look at it on your watch? Do you wear a smartwatch? You don't?
No.
Okay. So we have some work to do. I love this. I love getting to know you on the air in front of the world. Okay, so Nicole runs with a pad and paper and a pencil and a calculator, and as she's running, she's pausing, and then she puts her finger on her wrist and counts for 15 seconds to catch her pulse. Ken, we're going to have to teach Nicole that there's technology that actually does that for you.
Yeah. I'm that person in the crosswalk that's like this, just running in place.
That's I suspect that's exactly. If we have some time, I want to talk about Dove rejecting AI beauty standards, and that's actually personally relevant to me, because when Dove launched Campaign for Real Beauty 7,000 years ago, I was behind the scenes on launching that. So the fact that this has come full circle is really exciting to me. And I have a surprise creator spotlight today, which I always like to do with people. But before we bring Ken into the lab, Nicole, let me just do something here so we can have some fun with the whole situation. Let's do this here. Let's just do this. I'm going to do this. We're going to pause this. I'm going to go boom, boom, boom. And then we're going to go like this. Doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always number 2.
I've still never seen this movie yet.
Knows how hard I tried. Joining us, Maury's in the lab. The famous Ryan Gosling facsimile. Michael Konetsky.
Good morning.
Joining us.
Good morning.
In the lab.
I don't think you should actually refer to me as Ken. People are going to think that I think Ryan Gosling or a Barbie doll, and that is not what.
So that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so we're going to reposition Michael Konetsky's narrative. He's actually not Ken Nicole. He's Michael Konetsky. He's not Ryan Gosling. He's much better than Ryan Gosling. So you're right. We will reframe the narrative, my friend.
I am not better than Ryan Gosling. I'm not better than any Canadians. That's, to me, you guys are always so much above us. For me, it's like 500 miles, actually.
Is that what it is? So, Nicole, I've been getting to know Ken, Michael Konetsky.
Is this how you remember his last name? Is that why you did it that way?
100%. That's exactly it.
Yeah. That's why I did it.
Yeah. So as I was preparing for the show this morning, I was just just doing my pre-show homework, and I know this guy Nicole doesn't sleep at night. Like, he's up all night. So I'm like, hey, he's gonna be awake right now. I'll just shoot him a text, see if he's around. So I shot him a text. He's like, excuse me. I'm like, yeah, why don't you come for the lab for some coffee? And then, like yourself, he's like, who made this list? I go, me.
Yes.
What? So I'm sure Michael is joining us on a few seconds of sleep, which is awesome. Mike, thanks for jumping in and joining us. That's the point of the show. Want people kind of weaving in, weaving out, having conversation, having dialogue as we take people to the pinnacle of today's show, Mike, which is I have an offer for Nation to take me to bed.
Really?
Yes.
That's perfect. So, if I slept, I would do it. If I slept, I would do it.
there you go. There you go. And we got a full list today. We're gonna. I know you're from Jersey, so I'm suspecting you might even know what's in Jon Bon Jovi's fridge.
I do.
You. I do. Just with a straight face. I do. And Michael, are you familiar with biocentric lighting, Michael?
Biocentric lighting. I cannot say that I am.
Oh, this is awesome. So we have opportunities to teach everybody everywhere. So biocentric lighting is this idea of waking up with the right kind of light, having the light proceed through the day at the right coloring, the right lumens, as then it degrades throughout the day to help you put you to sleep. So it actually increases our human performance. Right. So a company out there that I've been talking with, friends of the lab, Kyle Harris was the CEO, was in the lab here a number of months ago talking about biocentric lighting. So I wanted to introduce it to the world. I don't think the world knows enough about it. It's of interest to me because of the morning show that Keith and Nicole do, and I'm paying more attention to my sleep habits and biocentric, all that kind of stuff. So we can talk a little bit about biocentric lighting today as well. But before we get into that, Michael Konetsky, take a few seconds. I know you joined us a couple weeks ago, but some people don't know who you are. What do you do?
I don't believe it. I don't believe that.
you wake up every single day trying to solve an incredibly difficult problem.
That's why he doesn't sleep.
This is true.
That's why I can't solve it, because I don't wake up every day trying to solve it. I'm still in every day is yesterday's problem. I haven't solved tomorrow's problem because I'm still in yesterday.
I know that when we were talking online, I said, you solve this problem, and you're like, no, I don't want to be in the talent solving space. And you presented to me, Michael, what you ultimately believe. No, let me rephrase it. What you're ultimately doing for companies, which is what?
Ultimately, I think what I want to do for companies is get them to realize that they don't actually have their best interest in mind when it comes to talent management. That's the thing I want to actually get companies to realize. I don't actually want to fix something, because I don't believe that I don't believe I can. I don't think anybody can fix what companies do. I really don't think I just think that there's a lack of incentives to do anything these days.
Interesting.
Because people are very, if you notice, companies are comfortable. And when things go wrong, you get solopreneurs. That's kind of what happens. So if that is what I kind of am seeing now. And so the conversation that I'm trying to have with people is not actually to give them solutions, but I'm actually trying to ask the right questions, because I think a lot of people know the answers. They don't need me to tell them the answers, and I wouldn't pretend to be smarter than everyone and try to solve these problems. I think it's questioning the problems in a way that evokes curiosity and maybe a biocentric light on the problem.
Yes. Interesting. Well, I'll tell you what you're talking about right now is probably relating to my friend Jess Willis, is joining us right now here from Winnipeg, Canada. What's shaking, Jess? I see you tuning in. Jess, Michael, like yourself, is a talent specialist. She searches for the most awesome talent on the planet and then says, hey, I think there's this company over there looking for you, and she places them. So Jess, what's shaking? Thanks for joining the show this morning. Michael does, I think, probably solve some similar problems to what you solved, Jess. You guys might be able to have a great conversation about that. So Michael, I'm glad you're joining us here today for some insights, humor, and so forth. I want to keep the show moving at a quick pace. I was fortunate yesterday, Nicole and Michael, to chat with a friend of mine who I've been quietly talking about maybe seeing if he wants to do some more stuff with the lab. Nicole, if I'm going to fulfill this vision of Ted Turner's 24/7 BAPL channel, we can't sit here 24 hours a day. And I don't think Ken wants to sit here for 23 hours a day with us either.
I would.
Yeah, of course you would. Yes, of course you would. So, Nicole, so Ken has offered to take on the role of Vinny the limo driver. So Ronnie, yeah. So Nicole, Michael, Nicole wouldn't know who Ronnie is probably because Nicole was born like 300 years ago, and she still is figuring out calculators and smart watches and all that stuff. So
was Ronnie.
Yeah, so is Ronnie. So yeah, Michael's going to join us as Ronnie the limo driver in the future, and he's going to provide the humor to the show. But speaking of humor, I sat down with a fellow last night, had a good chat, and I got to show you guys some stuff from this guy. He will bring joy to the lab if we are fortunate to do some work with him. And I need to show you this fellow. And this is C. Marty Fit. So, Nicole,
I've been following him on Instagram. He's hilarious.
Oh, my goodness. What I'm going to show you guys right now is going to absolutely tear you up. So I hope that you're here. Where's my tab here? I'm doing multiple things here. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to, you guys can see this right now. I think you can see this, right? So so pay attention. This is going to make you howl, Chris Martin.
Not wanting to eat clean. It's getting crazy, bro. I was talking to my homeboy the other day. I said, what's your problem, bro? Why you can't eat clean, bro? He talking about, man, I got an eating disorder. I said, what you mean you got an eating disorder? You eat too much. He said, no, I got an eating disorder. I said, what you eat? This order, this order, this order, this order, and that order? That's not an eating disorder. You just got a self-control problem. Then I had somebody else talking about, yeah, I'm picky. I said, what you mean you picky? Yeah, I'm a picky eater. That's why I don't eat clean. You pick that restaurant, pick that restaurant, pick that restaurant, and pick that restaurant. You talking about you picky? You ain't picky. You just keep picking the wrong damn food. Listen, I'm tired of it, bro. Summer around the corner. I'm just trying to help y'all hit y'all goals. I'm trying to help y'all get rid of that belly and unbig that back. I'm always going to tell y'all the truth. I'm always going to keep it 100 with y'all. I got to go.
He's awesome.
He's totally awesome. And then, oh my goodness, I saw this yesterday.
Did you see his twerking one?
This is always broken. Because people doing like this. What the hell is this?
Yes.
What are you working on? Stairmaster's already cardio. You don't need to be jumping on the Stairmaster. It's already a cardio machine. The top bodybuilding competitors and the top athletes get on the Stairmaster, get in peak shape, drop your body fat, and you doing this so we can watch your ass clap. That's what it is. You're doing this for social media. Tell people don't get fooled out here by paying for a program from someone like this and have you doing some shit.
Oh my God. That is Chris Martin, C Marty Fit. If you want a great follow on Instagram, you got to go follow C Marty Fit.
Yeah.
I am working hard on bringing C Marty Fit to the lab to maybe do some drop-ins, maybe take on an hour or two on the show, maybe add to the content, because I think that his style of humor, the way that he calls truth, is exceptional. He was on Live in the Lab with me a few months ago, and I've been following Chris. Nicole, I know you have as well.
Yeah.
That guy works harder than anybody I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, maybe other than myself, but he is a hard worker, man. He's going all the time. He's cracking jokes. He's keeping people motivated. And then when I'm talking to him yesterday, he shows me inside of his house. So he's branded himself as less brunches, more crunches. That's C Marty Fit, right? He's got female audience, and Michael shows me his house. And he goes, Keith, check out my store. And he shines his camera. He's got a rack full of merch. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm selling merch now. So just an exceptional solopreneur. You know, he gets his stuff going. So C Marty Fit, I would invite you guys to check out Chris. He is a fantastic follow on Instagram. You find him on LinkedIn as well. That's C Marty Fit. He will crack some humor into your world as part of, I guess, one half of the kind of the somewhat creator spotlight. I'm going to officially jump to the creator spotlight a little later this morning. But Nicole, Michael, why don't we take a quick minute break? I'm going to come back and reset up the accountability segment. This one's going to, I know we're a few minutes running late this morning. That's okay. We're kind of on the fly. The accountability segment is going to generate conversation.
Awesome.
And it was posted up on LinkedIn about 6 minutes ago. So let's come back to that in a minute, and we'll talk about accountability statement. And it's all about this, Michael. It's actually you. Yeah, it's you. It's not the algorithm. It's not anybody else. It's actually you. And people struggle with that whole idea. The algorithm's not working. The algorithm's not working. No, it's you. Coming up in a minute in the lab. All right, we are back. Keith and Nicole, Michael Konetsky sitting here in the lab with us as well, probably just refreshing his coffee, which is fantastic. So Nicole, this morning I posted something for Nation to consider, which is this whole idea that's, you know, we always are quick to blame everybody else for something, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm putting a post up there, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and it's not working. And we blame everybody. Michael, if you're there, I'm not sure if your browser's broken or what, but I can see that you're
I'm here.
yeah, so you might want to refresh your browser, Michael, if you can hear me talking. But Nicole, we often quickly jump into this whole idea of blaming everybody else for something that's not working for us. And it's this, it's not working. It must be somebody else's fault. It must be Nicole's fault. It must be LinkedIn's fault. It must be, you know, everybody else's fault but yours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take
easier, right?
Isn't it though? Isn't it? I'm going to take an opportunity this morning to remind all of us that it's actually not anybody else, but it's you. There's Michael.
Mm-hmm.
It's you. You know, I said it, right? You know, when you feel like you're hitting a wall, when results don't happen, you're stuck. It's on you. It's not anybody else. And Michael, you know, you see it all the time too, right? You see it on LinkedIn. You see it within the, you know, the BB community that you're in, and you see people probably in the real world. Everybody's blaming everybody else. And I kind of get tired of it after a while, right? Which is, I know, why don't you just lift up the mirror and look in the mirror and accept some responsibility for it? Like, what's your thoughts on that, man? Like, we're quick to point at every other society these days, aren't we?
I think it's probably just easier. You know, that's probably why I am told more often than not. Actually, I'm told every day that I'm too self-deprecating. And I always say, well, I lead with self-deprecation. In a way, it's kind of like, I mean, it's a very similar thing these days, kind of like to self-sponsored nominations.
Yes.
Right? You know, when you have a self-sponsored nomination that you pay someone else to give you an award, it's the same thing as us taking credit and blaming other people. So I self-deprecate, honestly, just for the sake of, I don't want actually to everybody think I have any kind of opinion of myself. Everything that I say is always laughing at myself first. That I think if people approach things, laugh at yourself first, take blame first, figure out how you effed up first. I mean, if you look at everything that I write, my entire bio on my LinkedIn, it's literally talks about why I'm such an F up. It's, you know, so like there's not one thing anywhere that actually says that, you know, I am actually good at anything.
Okay, so we have the ultimate loser on the show today, Michael Konetsky, who's not good at anything. So if you want to hire somebody, do not bring Michael in, because he will only help you succeed. But that's the power of self-deprecation, right? Is that I like your approach, Michael, because when you self-deprecate, I think what it also does is it amplifies the opposite of that. Mm-hmm. Right? So, however, allow me to offer something to you both that I had not considered until it was offered up to me. So I had a fellow on my show, Jonathan Pritchard, a couple of months back. He's an entertainer. He's a motivational speaker, an author, a mentalist, et cetera, et cetera. And we were speaking about self-deprecation. And Michael, what he offered to me was something I had not considered, because like you, I'm always on the self-deprecation approach. He's like, Keith, the risk in that, and it's something that I certainly paid attention to. He says, the risk in that is that if somebody doesn't know you well enough or doesn't know you, they might get caught up in your self-deprecation as being real. So there's, and I think Michael, even you just through your words, or maybe have been experiencing that a little bit, right? Which is if they don't know you well enough, they're taking that as real, and you're having to work perhaps harder to recorrect their perceptions of you. So I have certainly taken those words from Jonathan. I certainly always use self-deprecating humor, but I have created this awareness in my head where if you don't know me well enough, I don't lead with it as much as I used to. I try to trickle it in as I get to know you with my relationships.
I got a different point of view for you for that.
Yeah, tell me.
So how often do you think people misunderstand you when you're not trying to mislead them?
Oh, I guess that's a good question. I don't know. Yeah.
So if, to me, self-deprecation, you know what it actually is? I look at it. Maybe I'm just, you know, I'm like kind of a little crazy, but I know people will misperceive most of me anyway, because I'm not kind of like a very simple open book. So if I lead with self-deprecation, naturally what I'm actually forcing them to do is, if they're questioning whether or not I'm actually serious or not, it forces them to go, what? Wait, no. They get curious and question it, which gives me the opportunity to really course correct without having to course correct them later. I take control of their perception straight ahead. We're like, oh my God, this guy's self-deprecating. He's not really full of himself. Are you serious? Like, Duke, look at everything you've done. Oh, no, yes. No. Let me explain. So that creates a curiosity that normally people don't have. They'll just judge you in the corner behind your back and think of what they want to think without actually asking you, hey, what did you mean by that?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I listen, I can't disagree with that. I have used self-deprecating humor and those ideas to forever, frankly. And I think if anything, it's helped me be even more comfortable in this role because it works, right? You put yourself out there, in all the seriousness. I think that sometimes the world is too serious. So if I can bring some levity and laughter to the world, like I know like to Nicole and you do, Michael, I think it's just a plus for everyone, right? So the point of the chatter is don't blame somebody else. Take responsibility for yourself. So if you're tuning in this morning at 31 minutes into the show and you're sitting back and you're just about to start your day and blame somebody else, I don't know. Maybe you just want to go look in the mirror and ask yourself maybe something you can do about it. So don't blame the algorithm. I get tired, Nicole, I get tired of everybody blaming the algorithm on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Oh, the algorithm's not working. Oh, the algorithm's broken. No, actually, your content sucks.
Yeah. And it's inconsistent and lots of factors.
That's it. And it's not as broad brush as your content sucks. You can just think of all the facts, your point factors, right? The when it was sent, the mood of the people that were receiving the content, the time in the world. Like there's so many variables that go into it. You could send something right now. Michael's in a bad mood. Michael's not laughing at it. You could send the exact same post tomorrow. Michael's in a great mood. Michael laughs at it, right? Like there's so many variables that go into play where I just get tired of people beating on the algorithm. That's just somebody saying, no, I haven't maybe putting the work in. Right. So
my wife always says my algorithm sucks, and that's why we never dance. I got no algorithm.
Oh,
that's why I do karaoke.
That's it. So what is in Jon Bon Jovi's fridge? The aging rocker from New Jersey, 62 years old. Can you believe Jon Bon Jovi's 62? No, I know I'm the elder statesman amongst the group here, amongst the three of us, but I grew up with Slippery When Wet and all those good rock albums, anthem rock albums from I guess the 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s. But I found this morning during my coffee spiel, and I'm like, I need to share this with Nation because I'm suspecting a lot of. Well, listen, who doesn't know about Jon Bon Jovi and Bon Jovi? So let's take a few minutes. Let's watch this clip about what's in Jon Bon Jovi's fridge, what keeps him healthy. I found it on Men's Health. Hey, here's the thing. I'm going to reveal some business secrets to Nation. I know, Michael, you'd like to hear this shit from me. So back in the early days, Netflix built their business on the backs of everybody else's content. It was like, oh, hey, let's go use their content. Well, here's the truth. I don't have a reporter in Jersey to go knock on Jon Bon Jovi's door because Michael was busy yesterday. So I was like, Mike, can you go knock on John's door? He's like, no, I'm busy. I'm like, okay, come to the show tomorrow instead. So instead, Nicole and Michael, what I did was I found this video on Men's Health. I'm like, hey, that's a perfect clip for us to watch this morning. But what is inside?
Hey, Jon Bon Jovi, it's Men's Health.
Oh.
At least I hope you brought a pizza. I'm Jon Bon Jovi. Welcome to my house and show you the gym and the fridge.
All right, let's see that kitchen.
Welcome to the fridge.
What staples do you keep in there?
So look at his fridge. Do you guys often wonder when you have these celebrity shows whether they stage the fridge before the people come over? Did you guys watch Cribs growing up? Remember MTV Cribs?
That's what I thought of when he opened the door. That's like the exact memory that I had.
Right. So you're like, okay, so what's in John's fridge? So those that are listening on the audio podcast right now, so Jon has grapes, he has a bunch of fruit, he has some Perrier water, he has a bottle of wine, some Fiji water. But all in all, there's actually not much food in there. There's no leftovers in there, is there?
Yeah,
no?
It's all fruit.
It's all fruit, yes. So do we think Jon cooks his own food or he has a chef? I don't know. Michael, does your fridge look like this?
Actually, I can tell you that I don't have leftovers in my fridge. We never do leftovers because we kind of cook. I cook every night for what we needed. So there's never leftovers. But the thing about stage, I think it's just the fact that everything is always, if you open up my fridge, it looks like, when somebody comes over to visit and you stuff your closet and you close the door so everything falls out. Like going up on my fridge, there's like bottles and cans falling out, there's like crap all over. So like when I see people's fridge look like this, one thing there's not showing that's below there that I guarantee he has is a Jersey Mike sub on the lower shelf. No question.
Well, let's keep watching and see who's there.
This and this. Welcome to my fridge.
Cookies?
Fruit, lots of grapes, lots of blueberries.
That's
fresh
little bits in my fridge,
vegetables.
by the way.
I like yogurt.
Yeah.
Hummus is a good snack. Lots of water with electrolytes. Greens. That's really the size of it. Lots of vegetables.
You got greens in
lots
a
of
mason jar?
proteins.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, that's how I
Chicken,
keep my greens.
eggs, and fish.
What would we never see in your fridge?
If I can help it, but I don't get a vote around here. Cucumbers, not my favorite thing. Raw carrots, not my favorite thing. I'm not a very picky eater. Everything in moderation.
Oh, Chris Martin needs to meet Jon Bon Jovi. He's not a very picky eater. He picks this, picks that, but he doesn't pick cucumbers or carrots.
Including moderation.
It's Bon Jovi's 40th anniversary. How has the band's diet changed over the years?
You know, I think we used to live
Less
on
cocaine.
McDonald's drive-through. I haven't been anywhere near a place like that in I don't remember how many years. A lot less carbs in the form of pastas, and I guess we're more conscious of things like gluten. Gluten-free pasta is just horrible. I'm not interested. Although you can get a good gluten-free pizza if you know how to make it.
No, you can't.
That's the pizza delivery guy that I have waiting at the gate.
Impeccable timing. What do you eat before a huge performance?
I know.
I used to eat a big plate of pasta, and chicken would be my typical pre-show meal. Cut that out in the last few years with a concern about gluten. You know, it makes a difference.
Are you guys concerned about gluten? John's clearly concerned about gluten. Do you like gluten, Nicole? Do you include gluten in your diet?
Yeah, I actually love gluten. We've gone back and forth though, because my son doesn't digest it very well. So yeah, we've done a lot of gluten-free stuff, and then we kind of get back into, I don't know. Yeah.
What about you, Mike? Are you a gluten person or a non-gluten person?
I honestly don't even pay attention. I just eat it all.
Yeah, good for you.
I think my son, who's crying right now, I think is probably
because he wants gluten right now.
He wants gluten right now.
He's like, I don't want that gluten-free pizza.
Difference. If I really wanted to indulge, I'm still not afraid of a great peanut butter.
There we go.
Those are my favorite.
With banana.
But I have not had a peanut butter and jam sandwich, Nicole, since November because I'm scared to open the peanut butter jar.
Is that like a forever? You're never opening it again?
I don't know. I have an issue with it, but I will congratulate you though. I saw your post yesterday. You know, I know you were like committed to doing my stuff every single day, and you're like, hey, I spent some time with my family and I'm beginning again, which is, and we commented on, which, hey, we always have permission to begin again. We sometimes beat ourselves up, and I'm beating myself up with the peanut butter thing, but you began again and just begin again, right? But yeah, me and peanut butter jam, I love it so much, but I haven't had it in a while.
Surgery affected your diet?
It hasn't impacted my diet at all. I've always been, on my game when it came to being health conscious. None of that really going to make a big difference to something that's as big as your thumbnail, which is your vocal cords. They're that big.
What's the toughest diet you've tried?
I was gluten-free, dairy-free, alcohol-free, sugar-free during the course of the last tour. I was very skinny, but it wasn't any fun.
Do you drink coffee?
I've limited my coffee intake, where it used to be a hell of a lot more. Now it's a cup in the morning. I went through my diet Red Bull stage. You won't get me near one of those ever again.
How do you maintain a healthy diet with such a busy schedule?
Not always easy. I will succumb to sugar. Guilty as charged. I'm drinking Hampton Water Rosé, but you're not going to find me having a bottle of red anymore. I'm not going to really have a steak all that often. If I want my protein, I get it out of chicken or even fish.
What do you eat for breakfast?
An egg over easy on some Nova Scotia lox and a piece of whole wheat toast with some avocado spread on it. Fills me up for a good part of the day.
What does your cheat meal look like?
A great New York pizza full of pepperoni and sausage and onions and peppers and anchovies and you name it.
What do you put in your protein shakes?
Just ice, because the TB12 chocolate protein shake is actually pretty darn good. And then we have a hydrating electrolyte drink that, I stick in as much of my water as I can. Not only does it taste good, but it's keeping me hydrated and doing good.
So there's Jon Bon Jovi's Frid. We're halfway through the clip. I invite you all to finish that up here. I'm going to put it up on the Inside the Lab newsletter. But Jon Bon Jovi, 62 years old, clearly changing his eating habits. Sounds pretty boring these days, Michael and Nicole.
Yeah. He looks good though. He looks great.
He looks fantastic. Yeah, he looks absolutely fantastic. But I guess that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
He's not eating nothing but just chicken and all the good stuff. He does have a guilty habit for sugar, it sounds like, but he's all about the good, healthy stuff. And, you know, the way to age gracefully, Michael and Nicole, right? Just eliminating a lot of food.
Look at Tom Cruise. He's 62, coming up in June. He'll be 62 years old, I think, right? So look at what he does. He does all his own stunts. He's in great shape. And, you know, it really threw me for a loop. The whole age thing recently has started kind of messing with me, because I think of like Brad Pitt is 60. So when I think of Brad Pitt being a 60-year-old man, I start questioning age completely. Because when I think of myself as a 42-year-old boy, I'm like, I feel like I'm 25. My mind, everything about me, if you saw me at 25, you'd be like, I cannot believe you have not grown in any way in life since 25 years old. You're still the same exact immature, you know, idiot. And so I think to myself, like, I must age, you know, the construct of time. Think about how fast time goes, right? Like you wake up and go, boom, a week passed. But that's a perceptional thing. So time is a perception. We created it.
Yes.
Does our body actually realize that 5 years has gone by?
No.
So 5 years from now, 5 years ago, you think, well, hell, why do I still kind of feel the same? But it is 5 years. Because the construct of time in our mind and our body is not the same. So 5 years is not actually the same as 5 years of our chronological age, which is why a lot of people probably are younger chronologically than the clock says, right? So my idea of time is just completely warped lately, especially with some of these stars that I think like Leo DiCaprio's 50 almost.
Wow.
I'm like, what the hell, man? I remember that guy at 19.
Yeah.
You know, so just bonkers to me, honestly.
I can relate because I'm ancient and everybody around me I'm like, holy smokes, we're all ancient together, right? So all the people we grow up with, you're like, wow, like George Clooney is 100, you know, Brad Pitt is 120. We're all just these old folks, right? So time is a funny thing. But speaking of time, it's time to turn the conversation. And Mike, this is one of the reasons I wanted to bring you in today, because my creator spotlight today shines the light on somebody who made a post yesterday, and I was like, yes, this is brilliant. And I love doing this part of the show because nobody knows when we do this, and I like surprising people with it. So today I want to shine the light on Kevin Rapp, our creator spotlight today. He's perfected turning art into science, but I want to tell you why I'm turning the light on Kevin today. So he makes a post yesterday, which is, and Michael, I think you're going to love this one, man. I was thinking about you. The LinkedIn advice that's not given enough.
Oh, I saw this post. This one's awesome.
Have fun with it. Kevin, boom. Like I need to have sound effects. Like boom. Being active on this platform takes a lot of time or energy, as Kevin puts it. And if a large portion of your feed is a dull slog, it's going to feel like homework. Really boring, soul-crushing homework. Curate your feed with interesting people like Michael Konetsky, Nicole Bernard, Keith Billis. Find things you want to talk about. Engage with a sense of funny and whimsical content. I made some words up there. And comment on posts that interest you. Don't comment to check off an engagement to-do list. Actually be engaged. And if there's one thing, Michael, I'll give you props for, man, you are the ultimate engager. I love how engaged you are with your community across LinkedIn. You are active and you set the bar for a lot of us with your engagement. And it's real human engagement. And you have fun with your engagement. That to me is the entire point of having fun on LinkedIn. So when I look at Kevin Rapp, guys, he's all about having fun. And he's all about, let's have some fun with the profile. But Kevin is... he works with brands that need more content for smaller budgets these days. On top of that, Kevin talks about that content needs to be optimized to perform on the digital channels of today. Content that stops scrolls, content that drives audience to take action. Well, that's where Kevin Rapp comes in. He's a seasoned multidisciplinary creative director. He's built brands and content for both startup disruptors and Fortune 500 companies, including Netflix and Twitter. So here's what you're going to get from working with Kevin. And I suspect it's going to be fun working with Kevin based on the content and what I see from him. But he's going to bring you a systems thinking with modular content to use on multiple channels. He's going to bring an approach that creates more content for lower budgets, and he's going to bring you knowledge on how to optimize content to perform. So if you want to get started making content that drives results, I would suggest having some fun with Kevin Rapp. He's the guy that turned art into science, and I'm going to suspect probably get some good performance out of this as well. So you'll see this on my LinkedIn. I follow Kevin. You'll see this on my LinkedIn feed, but I would invite you to check out his content. But most importantly, the message, guys. The message is this: have some fun. If you're spending a lot of time on the platform, you're not having fun, then you're defeating the whole purpose of it. So there is our creator spotlight of the day today. Coming up in a number of minutes, before we wrap up the show, I'm going to invite you guys to take me to bed tonight. That's my plan. I'm going to show you guys a little clip on that coming up. But before we do that, I want to jump into a couple more topics of the day. Let's quickly chat about Dove. So, Michael, you familiar with Unilever? Dove, Nicole, Dove, Unilever. 20 years ago, they launched a campaign called Campaign for Real Beauty, and they have recently launched a new campaign. Find my tab here if I can find it. Maybe I will not be able to find it right now, but Dove has recently launched a campaign which talks about AI not being sorry, I'm just trying to find my article here. Not using AI. Dove is not using AI on their commercials. So let me back it up. So 20 years ago, when Dove launched Campaign for Real Beauty on the internet, they made a big deal about embracing women's natural beauty. Now they have
all body types and all that, right?
Yes, exactly, Nicole. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so they've come out now with a brand new campaign talking about this whole idea of we are not going to use we're not going to use AI generated content to promote women's bodies.
Makes sense.
Love that.
Yeah, makes sense.
It does make sense. Absolutely makes sense. It's they have a position in the market about that, and they're like, no, we're not going to use it. We're going to use real humans, use real women, and create content using real body types. So that is a great little position from Dove that I liked seeing that yesterday. Crappy segment, Nicole. I just didn't have my segment up there. So shitty, guys. Sorry about that. Oops, sorry. Also, Michael Konetsky had to run. He had some duties to do, so he had to step up. Thanks, Ken, for dropping by the lab today.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun, yeah. So anybody you guys all want to pop in for in and out, please do. Please come knock on my door. Come knock on Nicole's door. We'll create some great content, have some great conversation together. Always like to come.
Aria booked. She's going to join us at like 2 a.m. her time. She's a trooper.
Saw that. That is exceptional. Ari is joining us here in a couple of weeks, which is fantastic. Hey, coming up today, I have somebody on the show that I want to do a little tease on. It is Joseph Malone, Nicole.
Ooh.
Yes. So before I take Nation to my full invite of taking me to bed, I want to tease what's coming up today at noon, because this will be a good segue to taking me to bed. So today at noon, we have Joseph Malone joining me here today. So check out Joseph. So he's a Southern Cross CEO founder, but he's all about making sure that you're prepared in times of bad shit. Oops, sorry, but check this out.
Have formed a task force to crack down on a sophisticated group of thieves targeting high-end homes across the country, but especially in Oakland County, Michigan. So what's crazy about this one is that they're using jamming devices to incapacitate security systems and cellular phone communications in the target homes. So one surveillance video released by Oakland County Sheriff during a news conference Wednesday, a robbery gang is shown breaking into a home. One of the men behind the man who broke into the door is carrying a jamming device studded with an antenna to stifle alarm frequencies.
So Joseph, exactly. Yes. So he has some things I know he's going to share with us. I'm going to maybe put a coin, like a survivalist. He's going to make sure that if the world goes to crap, if civil war happens, or if things just go kind of sideways through our election season here.
Yeah.
Expect Joseph Malone's the kind of guy that will say, hey, Nicole, you and your family need to have this. You need to have this. You need to have this. You might need to be armed with this. You might need to have this flare for this. The guy's got it all wrapped up. So Joseph Malone joining me here today in the lab at noon to talk about that, as well as his mission to get people prepared for situations like that. So
awesome. Yeah, I'm going to connect with him.
100%. Yeah. So I would invite you, if you're concerned about society going to hell in a handbasket, yes, I said it, to hell in a handbasket. I think that Joseph Malone's the kind of guy you're going to want to connect with today, coming up here in the lab at noon. All right. So Nicole, I think it's now time to reveal my offer. My offer for the nation. I created this last night. Why just stop talking about it? Why don't I just share it up here? So y'all want to take me to bed? I have something for you to consider. Oh, I got the best idea for you. So I want to invite you to take me to bed with you. Yeah, it's a true story. There's a hook. There's some nice music. So what I'm thinking, the best way you can end your day today is you can crawl up into the sack. Yeah, that's the bed. Just for all you thinking in the gutter, you're all just, nation, you gotta get out of the gutter, man. So crawl into bed next to your partner. You say to them, you know what, honey? You know what, partner? And they're gonna go, yes, honey, yes, partner. And you might want to say to them, you know what? We're not gonna put on late night television. No, we're not gonna put any of that late night stuff on our phones. No, we're gonna open up the old YouTuber. Yeah, you know, that little platform that sits on your phone, sits on every device on the planet. And you're gonna go into Keith in the lab, and you're gonna look at all these wonderful shows with all these incredible human beings that have come through the lab, and you're gonna select one. And I might invite you to check out the one that pops up right in front of you. That says, stuck in a hot tub with Dana Carvey. Yeah, it'll make you laugh. It'll keep you entertained. And by the time it gets a little bit boring, at the last 57, 58, 59 minute mark, you go to sleep. Because we are here to entertain and inform you. So I invite you to introduce a new routine to your life and take the chief BAPL to bed and close your day off with me. Oh, I got the... So there you go.
Love it.
There you go. So nation, I invite you to make me part of your routine. Say to your husband tonight, say to your wife, I want to add a third person to our bedtime routine.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to introduce Keith Billis to the bedtime activities. And listen, before y'all get all crooked in your brains, come on, it's morning radio here. No. Radio, morning show streaming stuff. We just literally want to ensure that you know that I'm available to take me to bed with you. There are shows after shows of wonderful conversations. Some are fun, some are boring, Nicole. Some are entertaining, some are fun at the beginning, some are boring at the end. But what a wonderful way to just sit down, put it on the tube, put it on your phone, and just dive in to the sultry tones of my voice, my guests' voices, and lay there and listen and observe and close your eyes. And then Nicole, they get to wake up to the sultry tones of my voice again and your voice, and they get to do it all over again.
It's like they can never get away.
Never get away. So there's the invite. Take Uncle Keith to bed. You're going to see more content like that because I'm determined, Nicole, to get people to bed with him.
Yeah. Well, have you ever heard of that Calm app where like people read stories to put people to bed? Because you do have a very soothing voice. Like you could just read like, I don't know, entrepreneur bios or something. I don't know.
Maybe there's an opportunity there for us to do like a, put you to bed with Keith kind of segment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would have to, the goal would be get people to like to the 56 or 57 minute mark because we monetize the more time they watch.
Yeah.
Right. So we want people to watch and not falling asleep too soon. Right. So I know Sean Mason, you were really curious about taking me to bed. So I know you're paying attention this morning. So Sean, thanks for your interest. I'm completely available. And here's the thing. I've learned, Nicole, how to scale myself so people can take me to bed in Portland, in Winnipeg, in Toronto, in Florida, in New Jersey. You can take me to bed everywhere.
Right. London, like anywhere.
Anywhere.
I guess they'd be, well, no, yeah, they could. They still could.
They could, 100%. I'm available 24/7. Take me to bed. And then you can start the mornings with Keith and Nicole. So you could get out of bed with Keith and Nicole. So so we have your life planned. Go to bed with Keith, get out of bed with Keith and Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I mean,
you're around for their lunchtime too. So I mean, it's really
just awesome. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. All right, Nicole, we wrapped it up. Wow, we got through 55 minutes of the show today. I feel like I might have slogged through it. I thought it was actually not too bad, though.
No, I thought it was awesome. Like the agenda, Michael. It was super fun.
Yeah. I always create this big list of topics, and then I never get to 90% of them. So if you tuned in for how to age at 50, come back tomorrow for that one. If you tuned in for how does VO2 max mean on your smartwatch, call Nicole because she'll tell you all about it. If you want to learn about biocentric lighting, the video that I had queued up, come back later this week because I'll play that as well. Because Keith is still struggling with math. He's still struggling to fit in 78 minutes of content into a 55-minute show.
We'll get there.
What do you got planned today, Nicole?
Great. We've got school conferences, and my son's first baseball game is this afternoon, so I'm excited.
Oh, don't you guys go to school?
They're off yesterday and today. I don't know. It's something about teacher conferences, so I don't know.
I know, right? As parents, you're like, I don't know. I don't know why the hell my kid's not in school right now. Right?
Yeah.
What am I paying for? What's my taxes going for? Or what's my private school tuition going for when my kid is never at school?
Yeah, it's a great question.
It's a great question. So if you're listening to us right now and your kid's at home, go and ask, why the heck is your kid at home today?
Mm-hmm.
All right, before we say goodbye, one last thing. Nat Berman has got a webinar lined up in Brand Build. He's looking to sign up 100 people. We're at 46, I think he has. So if you're looking for something interesting, if you're looking to build your network, and if you're looking to grow your network, check out Nat Berman on LinkedIn. Brand Build. He's got a massively growing network. You're going to be connected to some pretty impressive human beings. So I would invite you to check that out. Nicole, I'm going to get out of here. I got Joseph Malone today. I got an active day coming up today, and I know we will chat throughout. See Marty Fit, if you're listening, come knock on my door, man. We had a great chat last night. And yeah, if you guys want to find some humor, go follow Chris Marty on Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course our creator spotlight today, Kevin Rapp. I suspect Kevin will help you turn art into science and get your business going in the right direction. Awesome. All right, let's get out of here.
Okay.
We have guests tomorrow. Hold on. We have guests. We do. Okay. We have, quickly, before we go, Nation, we have coming up tomorrow, we have Paul Ryken and we have Matt Bigger.
Paul Ryken. That name sounds really familiar. Yeah.
Paul Ryken, Matt Bigger joining us live. And I think Matt was all going to come in his suit and stuff. I'm like, no, man, we've got no rules. Just wear what you want to wear. So I think Matt might just be wearing something maybe interesting on the show tomorrow.
Remember, underwear is optional. So, I mean, whatever.
Underwear is optional as we head out of the lab. Mornings in the lab with Keith and Nicole. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll see you at noon today. Ciao, Nicole.